Sadik, panel just pinged me. He's on another call and he's joining us our call in 2 minutes. So can we wait for 2 minutes?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
And then I'll just resume my eating.
Yes, you can.
Thanks.
Yes.
Hello.
Hey.
Hi, Shivanjali.
Hey.
Hi, Krishna. Okay, Krishna, Sadik is with us, and Sadik, Krishna is your today's panel who is going to conduct your interview today. So, Krishna and Sadik, you both have a discussion. All the way, Sadik.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
By the
And
way,
you
I
both
don't
can have
I don't see you, honestly. Maybe.
Okay.
Yeah, Krishna, if you don't mind, can you please turn on your camera?
No, I don't request it. Just like maybe you. It's
Yeah.
okay.
Okay.
I just shaved my face. I
Yeah.
guess I look good today. That's why I decided to turn it on the camera. Yeah.
Oh,
Okay. Yeah. Okay, Sadik, can you please introduce yourself? Mostly the technologies you worked on it and the recent project so that we can get started.
Yeah, sure. I'm an ex-automation engineer, and currently I'm a software engineer. I have like over 7 years of professional experience about in like engineering thing, but more than 3 years in web development. I started in a company called Casper Innovation Center. It's a joint venture between IBM, American IBM, and that oil company Azerbaijan. I started as a full stack developer using MVD patterns like Django, jQuery, Docker, like PostgreSQL, MySQL stuff. But then I like sometimes even like incorporating React technologies into websites, content management systems, and like as web services. Then I decided to move to backend solely and started like working remote for Ukrainian companies. And currently I'm relocated to Europe, and I'm working in EPAM like as a backend engineer, like Python backend engineer. Yeah, as you already noticed that I mentioned a couple of technologies that I use, but besides that, I used Redis and Celery to kind of boost up Django frameworks capabilities better. Briefly this way.
Okay. So sorry for the background noise. I think in my street something is going. Okay, if you are getting background noise, just wait for a second.
I have a background noise.
No, it's from my end.
No, it's all clear. All I hear is your voice.
Okay, so you mean the background Python background developer, backend developer is in the sense what exactly you are doing in your recent project?
It's a project where you have to they were the pipes, Python script pipes. They kind of have to transcode videos into different kinds of formats to be streamed, like in Netflix. It's like a different platform. What I do there is sometimes I support logging. Sometimes when there is some errors, like bug fixing. Sometimes adding extra features. Or regular things I take tickets from the Kanban board and I kind of push it towards the stage of when it's done. But in the past, I used to in previous company I used to be a backend engineer and I used to have a great deal of participation in the designing of the application itself besides the programming part. I had this freedom of designing the backend and introducing the technologies and certain solutions. Of course, they were prone to be scrutinized and code reviewed later on by DevOps and more senior engineers, but yeah.
Okay. So do you have any experience in creating data pipelines, like reading data and processing them using a Python or something?
Yeah, this is what I'm doing right now. Pipelines. I don't exactly know how they work, but it's a technology, Airflow. Maybe you have heard about it. It's like DAGs and stuff
Okay. So what type of data you work on it? Formats?
It's usually JSON. Sometimes it can be XML files, or if it's big blobs files, like in video files, I send them to some external transcoders.
Okay.
We have certain
Are you using a PyCharm or some tool for development?
Do I use what?
PyCharm. Any tools you are using it to write your program?
It's like VS Code, typical VS Code. I don't have money for PyCharm. Company doesn't support me with it. I requested, of course, but they kind of still reviewed it.
Okay. So let us suppose if I would like to create an API.
Okay.
So to integrate with the Postgres.
Okay.
I just need to read the data. From the Postgres or to update it, the data.
All right.
I need a sample API. So can you talk about few functions how you are going to achieve this?
Because empirically I have this knowledge about Django. First of all, if it's something important, something should be to be done as fast as possible, I'll go with Django ORM. I'll design some classes, I'll have a serializer, I'll optimize it. I'll use Django REST framework. But it's something. If it's something too simple, I'll just read the documentation of Fast API or Flask something. I'll create only one endpoint for it. But our application may grow. It depends on how much scalable you want our application to be. And I connect with a PsychoPG library to the database. I'll run the database on Docker, let's say, with the volumes mapped to your Linux system. Yeah, pretty much this.
Okay. Normally, do you write any test cases for your coding?
Depends. Yeah, sure. What kind of data I am sending, what kind of payload I'm getting, what kind of permissions I added, but if they are working and stuff, like yeah, sure, I'll add unit tests. I don't do TDD, test driven code like programming. I don't have quite a lot of experience with it. I create unit tests to keep my workflow properly. Maybe I can add some feature, so I want to know that my other parts of the code are intact.
Okay. Okay. So how do you create a package? How do you deploy your code? Do you create any packages?
Deploy my code? No, it's like I never had participated in deployment and stuff like in CI/CD part. In the past I used to deploy my applications like my web services in a host machine. I used to install their Docker Compose. I used to create Docker Compose script, where you can manage multiple Docker containers simultaneously, or adding some extra bash script. This is what I used to do, but I know that it's kind of old school stuff now. People use GitLab's CI/CD pipeline things. I used to edit some YAML files in the past, so adding extra stages like testing stage, for example, to pass it.
Okay. Do you create any jar files or egg files?
What files?
Format of jar files.
Jar, it's for Java, right? No, I don't call it Java. I use Python.
Okay, in Python, do you create similar kind of packages? We have different kind of another packages in Python, like egg files or the wheel packages. So, did you ever come across this?
No, I use packages. I never created a published package. Basically, we do publish Docker images. Intermediary Docker images with all the libraries installed, all the packages installed. But I never created my own package to for fun. I did, but not in production.
Okay. So, do you have experience in creating the exceptions and all?
Yeah, exceptions, sure. It's a bare bones of programming. Sometimes you have to create exception and inherit from exception, and you should have some meaningful text message of an exception.
Okay. So I heard you have used these, unstructured files like videos and all. So what type of data types you are using it to process them?
Data types. I'm not I didn't dive into that part, but they are mainly blobs or street. Maybe they are divided up into chunks into Redis or RabbitMQ, and they are waiting their queue. These brokers. This is how they are managed by the Celery or by some outer service.
Okay. Do you have this blob storage in Python?
What? Blobs what?
Blob data type.
In what? In Python?
Yeah.
You can create any data type you want in Python. It doesn't matter.
Okay. What is init in Python?
IN90. If you want to create a package, you want to have your init, and into this init you can add any script you want. When you want to, importing this package will import something. You can write your code into that init part. This is what I do sometimes, import from another file into init, so it eases the process. It makes your code more clean.
Okay. Can I create a object? Object copy of an object?
Yeah, sure. You can have deep copy, shallow copy, anything. Sometimes in Python copies are different. Some regular copy will copy only on the first layer of it. But if you change something, let's say you have a dictionary and you copy it to a new dictionary, if you change in the first dictionary some keys, it will be reflected on the second dictionary too. It won't be the copy, it will be a reflection That's why you have to have deep copy.
Okay, that's good. Okay. Do you know about the singleton principle?
Yeah,
Any?
yeah. It's like you want to have control of your of the creation of your objects. Like you want to have only one instance of an object in Python, but it can be circumvented. You know, like it's just a nice to have thing.
Okay. So, do you see any risk in circulating these objects, or is
Yeah.
it okay to circulate?
There should be some logic. I can't think about it right now. But if you have two like instances of the same object of the same when you don't expect it, somehow maybe like if you have multi-threading, it can lead to collisions and stuff.
Okay. Have you faced that issue?
No. And the collisions of multiprocessing, yeah, sure, but not this like singleton thing. Like.
Okay. Okay, so you have pretty much experience. Do you have experience in these pandas?
No, never. I use all this for fun, like some tables, some like they are faster version of simple like typical Python. These libraries they help you to process data, tables, stuff faster. Just.
Okay. So let us suppose, we need to read a JSON file, okay, and you know that in the JSON there will be a nested fields, right? So if you would like to flatten the nested fields, how do you do it?
I'll have what field?
Okay, nested fields.
Okay,
suppose in
Yeah, I got it. Yeah, I'll do it recursively. I'll just load it into JSON and JSON into dictionary, and I'll check the type of it. If it's a list, then recursively call the same function again and append it to there. And if it's a dictionary, then just go.
Okay. Can we convert dictionary JSON to dictionary?
Yeah, sure. It's loads. JSON loads. There is a library in Python. JSON loads. And creates.
Okay, in vice versa.
Dumps.
Okay, nice. Okay, so if I would like to, let us suppose you have created an application, and if I would like to run it for let us suppose 2 use cases. Okay, it can capable enough for 2 use cases. Can I do it parallel? So I mean, if I would like to run concurrently, is that possible?
Concurrently in what do you mean concurrency? In Python, it's kind of a bit obscure thing.
Okay, sorry.
It's
in
like
parallel.
A parallel is the same. Like you can have multi-processing. They can be like multiple instances of Python, or if there are something blocking operation, like you have database connection, or I have like reading from file. You can use better like this async await thing. So it can work.
Okay. Let us suppose if I need to, there is a database table. Okay. So multiple applications are trying to access.
Okay.
So there is a chance of, wait, or sometimes it won't allow us to wait. It directly terminate it. So how do you handle these scenarios?
When it doesn't let you to wait for the database connection.
Yeah, it can wait, but how long you will wait? So there is we need to process within a specified time. So you mean let us suppose we have 4 to 5 applications which needs to write to the same table. So what is the best approach you will follow? Okay, so that you can process it in less time.
Still, async await would be the best.
Which way?
Async await thing.
Okay.
I would use it.
Okay. Do you anytime used any locking mechanism?
Logging?
You have created your own locking a particular object or something.
So you are talking about context manager, right? Yeah, like when you use with special keyword, and you kind of have to initialize this enter and exit methods inside a class of yours. Kind of use it. When you
Okay.
like it looks like atomicity, you know, when you want everything to be done or reverted.
Okay. So do you have any experience in? Okay. By the way, how are you? Are you following the Agile methodologies, or which methodology you are following?
Methodology.
Yeah. So how do you get your work? Do you use any boards like Jira boards, stories, something kind of thing?
For
Or how do you get your requirements?
for work, I get the ticket from like depends like on from GitLab dashboard or like Jira dashboard. If you are asking this, I didn't get it.
Okay. So how do you report your status?
I just I drag this ticket towards the
Okay, you are using Kibana board. then.
Kibana, right?
Okay. So do you have any experience in using? How good are you with the SQL?
You know, I try to avoid it. I try to use ORM, but sometimes when the performance is critical, I'll dive into it and I'll write raw SQL for it, or I'll try to optimize my ORM. I'm quite okay with it.
Okay. So if the opportunity comes, are you comfortable to write your queries and explore the data?
Yeah, like sometimes I'll try to avoid it because it's kind of like SQL queries. They are long and like huge. So, but what if it's crucial, I can write it.
Okay. I mean, it's not for our development, but to let us say we need to, after processing, when it comes to the data pipeline, right?
Okay.
So we may need to check the business logics as well. Okay. So whether our we have written our all logics in Python and we are storing into a database, so we need to validate it, right? So whether how it became all the business logics, applied correctly or not, or to validate the data, we may need to write a queries and to verify the data. Okay, it might be in a Postgres or MySQL or any language.
I use migration files for that, you know, to check the state of the database and the Python part.
Okay, that's great. Okay, let me just a second. So basically, I think most of the times we may need to create these data pipelines and all. If the requirements comes, you should be able to write your queries and explore the data. Okay?
Okay.
Yeah, are you comfortable in doing that?
I don't know, like I never did it that heavily. I used to still have this. Yeah, so I'm not sure. I can do it, like physically, technically, skillfully, yeah. But if I like it, keep doing it over and over again, I don't know. This is what I try to tell you. I like more a development part, you know, not analytical part, not like the SQL part specifically.
Oh, okay. You want to be in completely pure development.
Yeah.
Okay. You can automate that as well.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. If we have enough time, mostly these days we are automating completely to even for the validations and all.
That's great.
Okay. Okay, so you have experience with the Docker. So do you have any experience with any cloud?
Any what? Cloud service?
Any cloud services, yeah.
Yeah, I have some with AWS. I used buckets of AWS to save like local files and stuff. S3 library.
Okay. Okay. So how much experience you said you have total?
Over 3 years of web development and 7 years of engineering.
Okay. Okay, Sadiq. I think that's it from my end. Do you have any questions for me?
No, nothing. It was a pleasure to talk to you.
Yeah, nice talking to you as well. Okay.
Okay.
So I will share my feedback and they will get back to you on that.
Great.
Okay.
Great.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Thank you so much. Nice talking to you. Bye-bye. Have a nice day.
You too. Thanks.